Hello, this is Coach Thaxton, and I want to welcome you to the Bob Jones Swim and Dive 2020 introduction. This year is going to be a little different as we are starting the year. Hopefully, it will loosen up as the year goes on, but I wanted to go ahead and start getting some information out to you, knowing that we probably will not have a full parent meeting in the next week or so. So I just sent you an email, obviously, and in the email was a link to this information hub. The information hub is made for you to be able to click on links and gain information from the hub. So, for example, the first thing I would like for you to do is to fill out the contact form. In the contact form, when you click on it, it will show you just a Google form. You need to fill out one of these for each athlete. So if you have 3 swimmers or divers in your household, you need to fill out one for each one. Okay, and then you will submit it. Next is Remind 101. It is the same one as last year. This is a link that will sign you up for it. So if you already signed up for it last year, you're still in it. So you're fine there. If you're new or you didn't sign up for it, you can do it there. This is for swimmers, divers, and parents. So, for example, the other day we had some weather that was maybe changing how practice would be that day. I would send out that information through Remind 101 as well as email, but that way you maybe can get the info or the find out about practices a little bit sooner and faster. Next is very important, is the waiver. You need to print this and get it signed and notarized, and it needs to be completed and turned into me by the 29th of this month. When we talk about the schedule in just a minute, that if they do not have the waiver, they can't go to the meet because it's out of county. So we have to have the waiver in order to for them to be eligible to attend. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and look at the 2020 schedule. It is very blank at the moment compared to years past. So on September 3rd, we'll have our first meet, which is going to be the Madison City Time Trial meet. James Clemens will be there. We invited Westminster, JP2, Madison Academy, and ARAB. And this meet, even though it is a time trial, it will count as one of our meets, so that if a swimmer gets a qualifying time for sectionals, it will count. So we wanted to go ahead and do that. We won't be keeping score or anything of that sort, but there will be no relays. But so it will be a kind of a modified meet. If you participate in the Madison Dolphin MSA meet this summer, it'll be similar to that. Parents won't be allowed on pool deck unless you're working, and that pretty much is going to happen at most of the meets this year. As you see, on September 10th, we go to the Boaz Invitational. This is where that waiver comes into play. You must have the waiver in order to travel. We will probably take a bus to this meet because I don't want parents to have to come if they don't want to. It will be outside. So we're going to need some tents and things like that. Same for the Gunnersville Invitational. So more info coming on those soon. And then before fall break, just like last year, we will have our Duel in the Pool, Bob Jones versus James Clemens. And that will get us to fall break. I call that kind of the midway point of our season. As you see, after that, it's kind of blank. Bob Jones and James Clemens decided not to host any meets until after we have the Madison City Time Trial meet. We want to kind of see how it goes, see all the rules that Dublin wants us to follow, and see if it's manageable to host a meet, because in October it'll be too cold, so we will have to have the whole facility. We'll have the gym and things of that sort. So we just want to work some logistics out before we have a meet. Same thing with Grissom and Huntsville. They aren't right now having any meets as well. So that kind of shows why the schedule looks like it does. Next is going back to our hub. Is you have the is our team suits and practice equipment. So for our team suits and practice equipment, our suits are going to be the same as years past. The boys will wear a Navy Speedo or jammer. Everyone needs to get one of those, and the girls will wear a red suit. I recommend TYR, Speedo, or Nike for the girls' suit, and it's there's all sorts of red shades. It needs to be the university red color. And because I don't want one to be red, one to be maroon, I want them all to kind of look alike, even though if they're different brands. There's a link right here that shows an example suit as well. For swimming, swimmers during practice, they'll need a kickboard. We don't have a stash of kickboards for them to have. Pool boys optional this year. Fins, I'm not going to make them mandatory, but I highly recommend you getting them. And we want to get the long blade ones, not the short ones. Long blades are just easier to use, and it helps keep their form a little bit better. And then I recommend getting an equipment bag. That way you can keep everything on there. As the kids leave, if they want me to sanitize their equipment, I can do that. That won't be a problem. I have sanitizer that I use on the weight equipment and things like that that the school system provides. I gave everybody a Bob Jones cap that doesn't have one. So if for swimmers, if you're wearing a cap in practice, I told them it needs to be a Bob Jones cap, and I passed those out. And I have more if we need them. Where to get this equipment? First place, they're one of our go-tos. I know the owner really well, and they always help us with our caps and other needs. So they keep the boys' suit in stock, and they can order the girl suit. And I've already told them which ones we are using. The other option is to use swimoutlet.com. But if you use Swim Outlet, use this link below, because when you do that, a percentage of your total cost, we get a percentage of that back to the program. It's always nice every year. We usually get about an $80 to $100 check from Swim Outlet, and that's just the easy way to fundraise. So Swim Outlet's a good way to use, even if it's not for Bob Jones gear. If you're buying something for another person in your family, use that link. It will be very beneficial to you and for the team. So on this side, we have our BJ Swim and Dive Handbook. On our handbook, it is very important that you read through this. I recommend reading this with the parent and the athlete, reading it together. Most of it is the same. The only thing that has changed is, instead of me adding the COVID procedures, I kind of made a separate document, and I'll show you those links in a minute. The other thing that's always on here is dues. How much does it cost this year? Well, it's kind of up in the air with travel fees. Right now, we don't have any fees for travel, and we probably won't this year, so that will stay probably at zero. But the team participation cost is going to be $200. As you can see, we got rid of JV this year, and so it's just one collective team, which I think will be good. And also diving will be one set cost too. So everybody's the same amount. And this takes care of helping pay for assistant coaches. It helps with meets. It helps with other things that need to be paid throughout the year. Any questions about that, please let me know. Now, when do you need to pay this $200? We don't want you to pay any of this until our Patriots Day. The tentative date for that, go to market, is 8/29, which is a Saturday, and we will. It'll be a full day of activities. The only difference is we probably will not end the day with a potluck dinner like we have in the past, but there will be a lot of team bonding, things that we're working out, but that will be when the money needs to be turned in. Do not turn in the money before then, because I'm still working out some accountant things, and it might be a little bit different. So just hold off on turning in any money now. What you do need to go ahead and do now is work on Dragonfly Max. If you have not finished all your uh, information in there, you need to do so. I will be sending out an updated list of who's missing what, because what you need for tryouts is a little bit different than what you need for the whole season. So, with that being said, I'd like to introduce my assistant coaches. And of course, we have Kelly Davis, who will be helping me with the swimming portion again this year. Great coach. She's very knowledgeable and has been a go to when trying to figure out our schedule for practices and things like that, making sure we're making good decisions because of all the COVID stuff that we have to follow. Then we added, we have 2 dive coaches this year, which I think will be great. During tryouts, it was nice seeing with such a large group of divers, seeing them both work together and work in instructing our divers. And so we have Coach Ralph coming back, and Coach Emily will be joining us, which most of you know Coach Emily from the Rec League. So I'm very happy with the staff that we have in place. It is a staff that I feel very confident that we are going to do great things this year, and your swimmers and divers are in good hands. Lastly, there's some things that are not linked yet. That's because that information is not ready to be linked, or I don't have that information yet. So this will be a document that you don't just refer to today. You want to refer to it throughout the season. I'll be updating and adding to it. That way, all the information you need, if you're needing something, it's all in one place. If you're having any issues with the hub, just let me know. Finally, I would like to recognize the roster and yet let you take a look at the roster that we have. We have a total of 20 male swimmers, 20 female swimmers. And then we have a large group of divers this year where we still might add 1 or 2 more after Monday. So I'm very happy with the size of the team. We had our largest group of tryouts ever since I've started coaching, and probably since Bob Jones and James Clemens split. So I was very happy that people want to be on the team. Unfortunately, we don't have space for everybody, but people want to be part of the Bob Jones Swim and Dive family, which is great. So welcome all the new people, athletes to our Bob Jones Swim and Dive family. Lastly, is the schedule, or practice schedule. This obviously is just for August, and there has been some changes, like I mentioned in the email. If there's changes, I put it in yellow. It's just really just changing the swimmers this week. And really the reason why is I'm trying different things. I'm trying to make sure we're getting the most out of our time but still making sure that we are social distancing and that we are trying to keep less people together. So by separating the boys and girls, this has done that. It's not a perfect system, but it has helped with being able to show ourselves as well as others that we are trying to social distance and we're trying to be as healthy as possible. At the bottom, you'll see when you need to check in. It is very important that you check in on time. If you come late to check in and I'm busy, you're missing water time, and I might just send you home if I'm really busy. So you need to make sure you are on time. With school not being, school being virtual right now, there's no excuse really to be late. You should be there on time every single day. Lastly, if anyone has been exposed to COVID or is not feeling good, please do not come to the pool. One of the main COVID things that we want to make sure that our protocols that we want to follow is if any questions, don't come to the pool. So if there's signs of sickness, which I listed here, or if you've been in contact or had exposure to someone with COVID, just call me immediately. Do not come to the pool and tell me. Call me, text me. I'm way okay with that. That way it will keep if there is an issue, it'll keep the exposure down. My main goal is to keep the swimming and dive team healthy, but also keep us in the water. And if there's exposure, there's a chance of us having to be out of the water, and we do not want that. So I am so happy to be getting this year started. It's going to look different. We're going to have some ups and downs with COVID. I'm sure meets will look different. Everything will be a little bit different. But the good thing is, guys, we're swimming, we're diving, we're together, and I want to take advantage of every moment we have in the pool. If I can be a help to you or your family, swimming wise or anything else, please just let me know. Send me an email, text me, call me, and I will get back with you as soon as possible and help you in any way I can. Let's look forward to a great season. Y'all have a great Sunday afternoon, and I'll see my swimmers and divers tomorrow.